and they will be deported. They are not refugees. There is a procedure to get refugee status, and none of them followed this procedure. No Rohingya has got asylum in India, nor anyone has applied for it. He repeated, they are illegal immigrants. Now, proper procedure, how do poor people fleeing for their life, how do they comply with proper procedure? Second question. If the minister wanted them to follow proper procedure, they have a camp in Kalindi Kunj, I think. I had gone there once. The minister could have sent his officers with the papers which they should fill in so that proper procedures are met. And now comes another disturbing thought. The occasion was a meeting of the Human Rights Commission. Look at the context. Now the Human Rights Commission, well, it has got a UN history. Let us start with the UN Declaration of Human Rights, 1948. Now, if the minister had taken the trouble to ask the Legal and Treaties Division of the Ministry of External Affairs, that division would have told the minister, listen, you know, we have a Human Rights Commission because we signed the Declaration of Human Rights in 1948. And later there were developments. 1966, there was a International Convention on Civil and Political Rights, and then, you know, Human Rights Commission and all that, you know. So he would have been told that. He also would have been told that there was Hansa Mehta, the Indian representative. She is from Surat. She was born in 1897, died in 1995. You can calculate how long she lived. Now, the reason why I'm mentioning her is that Eleanor Roosevelt, you know, the leading light, she came with a draft for the declaration, all men are created equal. Hansa Mehta said, no, all human beings are created equal. And that was accepted. The point I'm making is that the human rights is not a Western invention. It belongs to us as much as it belongs to anyone else. And as Harsh pointed out, the LNT would have, Legal and Treaties Division, would also have told the minister, listen, the United Nations is coming to the view that acts of genocide have been committed. Now, the question is, did he ask for a brief? Did he get a brief and he didn't want to read it? That is for you to find out. Now, he made another statement. This is regarding the 1951 Refugee Convention. He said, India has not signed it, so India is not bound by it. Let's look at the logic. This is a thought experiment. Imagine the same minister saying, India has not signed the Convention Against Torture, so India is entitled to conduct torture. No, that India has signed is a different matter, but the logic is the same, isn't it? Now, why do our ministers make statements which lack logic? Are we not entitled to expect better logic and better sense from them? Now, the same declaration, you know, the LNT would have told the minister, Article 14, everyone has a right to seek and to enjoy in other countries asylum from persecution. Okay, now Harsh mentioned about the 1951 convention, why Nehru did not sign it. Well, frankly, I'm not an authority on it because I was not there. I joined the service much later. But historically, that 51 convention was Eurocentric. It was in the context of Europe, the Second World War, and out of the 26 countries, as you know, any convention, there is a diplomatic conference, normally sort of promoted by the United Nations. There will be a UNGA, General Assembly resolution. So there was a resolution, and only 26 countries participated in that diplomatic conference. Almost all of them were Europeans, West, except Iraq. India was not there, Pakistan was not there, and you know what I mean. So, and also the language. It spoke about those who were persecuted on or before 1st of January 1951, that sort of thing, There was a specific European context, not only geographically, but also temporally. And probably that's the reason why India did not sign it. But there was the 1967 protocol to the same convention, which removed the European context and which enlarged the temporal context, and which so far 146 countries have signed and ratified. They are contracting parties. So I think it is high time that India take a second look at it, as already mentioned. Now, apart from international law, I'm talking about, which Harsh also mentioned, the principle of non-refoulement. Refouler means French word meaning push somebody. Somebody is trying to come in, you push. Or somebody is just in, you push. Fully, refouler. Now, this is practically part of international law. And it is part of national law, as Shri Prashant Bhushan will elaborate much better than I can do. Article 21. No person shall be deprived of his life or personal liberty except according to procedure established by law. No person. It doesn't say no citizen. No person. That is, any person who is in India is entitled to protection under Article 21. Now, as Harsh pointed out, if you send these Rohingyas back to Myanmar, assuming Myanmar will accept them, because they accepted the 7 for what I would call Machiavellian reasons. So they can, project, oh, we have taken. You see, it's not sincere. So, even national law, and that also I'm sure L&T would have told Rajnath Singh. Now, question. What should India have done when 700,000 Rohingyas fled Myanmar? We talk about India being a dharamshala and all that. I'm not maintaining that India should become a dharamshala and accept all refugees from everywhere. No. There is something called burden sharing. But, in my view, India did not do what it should have done. And that is, when this occurred, India should have taken the initiative to convene a diplomatic conference of the countries, neighboring Myanmar and other powers, especially the P5. So India should have convened that conference for two reasons. One, to put pressure on Myanmar to stop those genocidal acts and to take them back so that they can live in safety. That's one goal, but that may take a little time. The second one, India and other countries should have told Bangladesh, listen, this is a terrible burden for you. We will give you some financial resources and human resources, and also we shall take a certain number out of this 700,000. As to actual figures, it's a different matter. But the point is, if there is a crisis, we all should face it unitedly. Instead of making these unwarranted statements about illegal immigrants and they have not applied for asylum and all that sort of thing, Now, why is all this happening? Well, partly because of wrong history. History is being rewritten. It's a cottage industry which is flourishing, rewriting of history. A high constitutional office holder said the other day Arjun had nuclear missiles. And that was in the context of where in a meeting where engineers were present. Well, now I want to tell that I've heard from many people that India was divided on the basis of religion. This is historically not true. Pakistan was established on the basis of religion. But it doesn't follow that India was established on the basis of religion. If you look at the figures, we had at that time about 100 million Muslims in India, 47. Now, about 66 million are in Pakistan and the rest in India. Now, most of those who are in Pakistan did not go to Pakistan, they were already there. And next point, it is true that lots of Sikhs and Hindus came from Pakistan to India. But let me make it clear, they were accepted. They were accepted not because they were Hindus or Sikhs. They were accepted because they were human beings. Otherwise, we will make a big mistake. So let me stop here and thank you.
Thank you. I forgot to mention that Mr. Fabian is a member of the Constitutional Conduct Group, a very fine group of retired civil servants who are standing up for protecting constitutional values. So thank you very much. I'm now going to turn to Professor Hegde